If you've ever skipped a tart recipe because the crust felt intimidating, this is your sign to stop doing that, because the tart dough is actually one of the simplest doughs you can make, and once you do it once, you'll realize it's way more forgiving than it sounds. We're starting with flour, powdered sugar, and salt. Powdered sugar is the key here because it keeps the dough tender. Then you're adding cold butter, and cold is important. You're working the butter in until the mixture looks sandy with some small pieces left. That's exactly what you want. You're not trying to fully blend it in. Next comes the egg yolk and a little cold water. Start with 1 tablespoon. If the dough looks dry, add another tablespoon of cold water. You're looking for a dough that comes together when you press it, not something sticky or wet. If it cracks a little, that is okay. Once it comes together, you're flattening it into a disc and chilling it. This step matters because it firms the butter back up and keeps the crust from shrinking later. After chilling, you're gonna roll the dough out on a lightly floured surface. You want it to be about 1/8 of an inch thick and large enough to fit a 9-inch tart pan. You'll see here I'm using a 9-inch fluted tart pan with a removable bottom. To get it into the pan, gently lift the dough and lay it over the pan, then press it into the bottom and up the sides. You do not need to build a separate edge or border, just press it in one piece and trim off the excess at the top. If it cracks, you can patch it. Tart dough is very forgiving. Then you poke the bottom all over with a fork. This just keeps the air bubbles from forming while it bakes. Now we chill it again. I know it feels repetitive, but this is what makes tart dough work. Once it's chilled, we're gonna start the blind bake. You're gonna line it with parchment and fill it with beans or pie weights. This keeps the crust flat while it bakes. The first bake is gonna set the shape, and the second bake gives it its color. And that is it. You just made a tart crust completely from scratch. No fancy tools, no special skills, and nothing you have to rush through. If you take your time and follow the steps, this dough will work for you. I'll be posting the full cherry pie tart later today, but once you know how to make the crust, you can use the same method for any tart you want, sweet, savory, whatever you're making. This is one of those basics that unlocks so many recipes.